Welcome to GPVWC and Formula Sprint 1. The third step on the career ladder is primed for another action-packed season in 2025, with a compelling blend of accomplished drivers raring to start anew, new appointees making the next step up, and well-regarded competitors from the wider R Factor 2 world. Let's begin with Malta Force GP. The reigning champions took their first title in 7 years in 2024 after some excellent performances from both the eventual champion Mike Quint and teammate Menno Clont. This season sees an all-new, all-Polish lineup step up to the plate as reigning Formula Sprint 2 champion Mateusz Majka is joined by FS1 podium finisher Paweł Andrzejewski. Majka impressed immediately in FS2 with the Reading Game squad, but a mid-season switch to Optimal Esports supercharged his title bid and led to a run of 14 podiums, including 6 victories. His substitute drives in FS1 last season saw him consistently finish inside the top 6, including a first podium in the finale at Brazil. Known for his blistering speed, there's every chance that Majka could bank another title this season. Andrzejewski has dipped his toes in every single series of the GPV ladder, but has never really stayed long enough to taste success until last season, when he had some very good results with Hyperion Esports and Parallax Volpino. He came agonisingly close to taking his first victory in the feature race at both Singapore and the United States. Now given a full-time drive, expect big things from Paweł this season. MS Performance. Harry Smith's MS Performance team returns for a second season in FS1 after taking 10 victories on their way to third position in the points last season. Wesley Stefano returns to the GPV ladder after 7 years away, and he is joined by GPV newcomer Raymond van Soest. Dutchman Stefano was 10th in the 2018 FS2 standings after scoring 2 podiums for Mayer Downard Racing and has a lot of R Factor 2 experience, but is returning to the GPV ladder after a long absence with only a select number of academy races in between. Stefano hasn't been idle while he's been away and is keen to show what he's learned this season. Fellow Dutch driver Van Soest brings with him a wealth of sim racing experience on R Factor 2 and Assetto Corsa, and he also set the third fastest time in pre-season testing. Expect him to bring his endurance pedigree to the fore with some brilliant racecraft. HGP Motorsports. Frank Hamming's Dutch outfit enjoyed a very solid run to 4th place last season with consistent podium finishes from their team owner and lead driver. Just 18 points behind MS Performance, they will be hoping to break back into the top 3 as Vin Glenn bolsters the driver lineup. Hamming took 2 brilliant reverse grid wins in Montreal and Kota last season on his way to 3rd in the championship, best of the rest behind title contenders Quint and Victor Ivanov. His race pace and race craft has never been in any doubt, but his Achilles heel has always been his one-lap pace in qualifying, and it's something he will need to overcome if he wants to take that first title. Glenn's short GPV career includes a top 10 finish in Superlights in Brazil at the end of last season for drag racing, followed by a 16th place finish in the Super League round for Green Stripes Racing as he lost the final point in the final few laps. The German is expected to be strong in FS1 and could be Hamming's strongest full-time teammate in quite some time. Griffon Esports. Griffon were settling in for an anonymous season in the lower end of the field until Szymon Frelich joined the team midway through 2024 and won 9 races for Davide Capruzzi's squad, single-handedly launching them up to 5th in the points table. Filip Koenig stays with the team for a second season and is joined by Poland's Kasper Michalak. Koenig enters his 5th consecutive season in FS1 in the middle of a lean period where results have been hard to come by. 2024 saw only one top 10 finish for the German. This was in the final race of the season in Brazil, and more often than not, he would run long in order to help out his teammate Frelich. After scoring just 25 points last season, Koenig needs to turn things around in 2025. Returning to FS1 after 2 seasons, Michalak has been a regular PZZW driver in FS2 and FS1. His finishing record, unfortunately, is littered with retirements. The aim for this season will be to score points consistently and see the checkered flag more often. KKR Esports. Matthew McKinnon's squad had a strong start to 2024 as star driver Lucas Tylene impressed in the first half of the season. The second half was much harder going as some retirements meant that the Australian team slipped to 8th in the points table. Tylene stays on for a second season with KKR and is now joined by veteran and fellow race winner Menno Clont. Tylene became something of a reverse grid specialist in his first full FS1 season in 2024, winning them in Saudi Arabia, Britain and most dramatically in China, where he stole the win from Isaac Clarke in the final few corners of the race. The final half of the season had fewer high peaks, but was still good enough for the Super Suite to finish 7th in the drivers' standings. After topping pre-season testing, big things are expected from him in 2025. It was 9 years between victories for Clont in FS1, but it was well worth the wait as he held on to the lead to take a long-awaited and emotional victory at Imola. 28 points finishes across the season allowed him to help Multiforce to the team's title. Now he hopes to do the same with KKR. Hyperion Esports. Named after one of the moons of Saturn, Hyperion are back for a 4th season in FS1. Last year they were 11th and failed to finish on the podium, which is something that returning Polish duo Mateusz Zubinski and Mateusz Dabrowski are tasked with rectifying. Starting his 5th FS1 season in 2025, Zubinski had a tough season last year for Hyperion, scoring 12 times and retiring in 8 races. With only 2 top 10 finishes all season, Zubinski needs to return to his podium finishing form from past seasons to get Hyperion back up the standings. Dabrowski endured a miserable season last year, retiring 7 times and only scoring a total of 9 points after scoring only twice. Whatever happens, 2025 can only be an improvement for Dabrowski. Pixelate Esports. Stefan McCready's Pixelate team started 2024 well, as Isaac Clarke took pole position in Saudi Arabia before just being pipped to the win in China by Tylene. Unfortunately, the team has found it tough to find any stability in the driver lineup with the revolving door of substitutes, meaning they fell to 13th in the points table. Now, Italy's Massimiliano Riboli is given a full-time seat at the team alongside part-time Super League driver Janssen Bintz. After a few strong seasons, Riboli left FS2 in the middle of 2024 to substitute in FS1 with Kings Racing, getting a point on his first race of the season in Saudi Arabia. He would score points 5 more times before switching to the Pixelate team. Bintz of Luxembourg has yet to achieve any major results in GPV, but he has enjoyed a lot of success in endurance racing on R Factor 2 and Le Mans Ultimate. 100 to 1. Ben Constantine's team were the underdogs of FS1 last year, and at the start of the season they struggled just to get a driver to the checkered flag, let alone in the points. However, Owen Hausvik joined the team from round 4 onwards and became a regular threat for points, scoring enough to lift the British team off the bottom of the table. Hausvik is now back to lead the team for a full season this time and is joined by fellow Norwegian and sometime Academy racer Marcus Christensen. Apex Grand Prix. With a 3rd position in the Formula Sprint 2 standings last season, Domenico Scarpelli's Apex Grand Prix makes the step up to FS1 after just 1 season in the junior category. Lead drivers Yassi Latinen and Oliver Taras returned to the team after both had to abandon their FS2 campaigns in the middle of last year. However, both have shown great form in FS1 already and will definitely be ones to watch in 2025. Latinen was leading the FS2 standings in the middle of last season when he had to abandon his title hopes due to having to undergo military service in his native Finland. In the end, he was still able to finish 6th in the standings despite missing the last 16 races. He also achieved consistent top 7 results towards the end of his 2023 FS1 campaign with Friesland, so there's great potential that the Finn can deliver across the full campaign. Englishman Taras had a great start to his FS2 season last year, but in the reverse grid encounters, things kept unravelling as he was involved in several big incidents. A mid-season switch to Lunark in FS1 worked wonders for his confidence as he beat Loic Meunier to take his first podium in Baku and then scored another 2 podiums in the Brazil finale as well as 10 other points finishes. Expect him and Latinen to be evenly matched once again. 01 Esports. David Wasserman's 01 team was 6th in their Formula Sprint 2 debut season last year, and the German outfit has been given an immediate promotion to FS1 and has taken on new drivers Tom Lafont and Juho Soppinen. Lafont is a newcomer to GPV, having only done a few impressive academy rounds last year, but he has a lot of experience in iRacing, where he drives for 01's sister team Velerone Racing. With the 5th fastest time in pre-season testing, the Frenchman could be one to watch this season. Soppinen is another iRacing regular, making the leap to FS1 after a couple of seasons in Academy, and in 2023 he was the champion of the FIA F4 Esports Regional Tour for Northern Europe in Division 8. A very solid and consistent driver, expect him to challenge for points. LEF Auto Racing. This Croatian team, owned by Lorenzo Atarovic, makes its bow in GPV, fielding two Americans, the experienced Sven de Vries and rookie Alexander Gonzalez Green. A two-time runner-up in FS1 in 2014 and 2016 with Satellite Racing, Dutch-born American de Vries is returning to GPV after a 4-year sabbatical. With 27 wins and 72 podiums from 156 races, he brings with him a glittering CV. But can he recapture his past form with LEF this year? A race winner in Academy last season, American driver Gonzalez Green enters FS1 as a rookie after just one event in FS2 in 2024, where he impressively placed 6th in the reverse grid race at Kota. Highly rated by many despite his lack of experience, expect him to get stronger as the season goes on. Nexium Pole Team. Feeling that one all-Polish team wasn't enough representation in FS1, Kamil Szmeja has thrown his hat into the ring by entering the Pole Team outfit for this season. The lineup features Patrick Roszak and Mateusz Gazowski. Roszak had his best season to date with Parallax Volpino in 2024 with 4 top 4 finishes, narrowly missing out on the podium on each occasion. Despite reverse grids being his Achilles heel, he had a much more consistent season on his way to 14th in the points table. In his 6th FS1 campaign, Roszak could well be at his best with the new Pole Team squad. Gazowski had to spend last season without a full-time drive, instead acting as Hyperion super sub. But when he did get the call up, he delivered, scoring points 8 times from 10 appearances, including a best ever top 5 in Imola and a 6th in the final race at Interlagos. Now back to a full-time seat, expect him to shine once again. Overpower. Owned and run by Super Venturi's Marco Furlich, Tomas Smith and Scott Flack are reunited as teammates at this new Finnish squad, hoping to find success in their rookie GPV campaigns. Smith only had a cameo appearance in FS1 last season for HGP in Singapore, but it's FSR where the Dutchman has shone these past few years, dominantly winning the FSR Academy title in 2023 before taking 2 podiums on his way to 6th in their Pro Championship last year. There's every chance he could translate his abundant talent to FS1 this season. Australian Flack has proven himself to be an outstanding qualifier in the FSR junior categories, although he seldom has had much luck in the races, leading him to take a pessimistic outlook on his chances. He did score 9 points in his outings for Pixel 8 at the tail end of last season, and in pre-season testing, he set the 2nd fastest time. Don't let his gloom and doom prophecies fool you. This is a seriously quick driver. Team Iris. The legendary Greek squad has enjoyed many years of success in endurance racing and now makes its bow in GPV. Longtime drivers Tun Lohr and Carl Magnus Bore will be aiming to transfer their success to single-seaters. Dutchman Lohr is an old hand in R-Factor 2 with many GT3 podiums to his name and is also the manager of the Visceral Esports iRacing team. A points scorer in FS2 back in 2021, he's been waiting a long time for a shot at FS1 and has finally gotten the chance to deliver. Sweden's Bore is another R-Factor 2 regular, and in 2024 he made it all the way to the quarter-finals of Sim Formula Europe. Regularly found in anything with a Team Iris livery on it, from touring cars to GT3s and now single-seaters, Bore has proven his incredible pace and natural talent time and time again. Team Shiba. The final new team in FS1 is the Team Shiba outfit from Italy. Named after the Japanese Shiba Inu dog breed, they are best known for their race-winning endurance exploits in the Esports Endurance Series. Team owner Francesco Bonardi has hired fellow countrymen in podium finishers Giuseppe Saracino and Lorenzo De Cutis to represent the team this season. Saracino started 2024 brilliantly with a 2nd place in Melbourne for Grifone before work commitments scuppered his season. He also had some strong performances in FSR Academy, winning 2 races on his way to 6th in the championship. If he can sort his availability out and stay out of trouble, then he could very well be a force to be reckoned with. 9th in the 2019 FS1 standings with TCS Off Racing, De Cutis returns to GPV for the first time since 2020. He has been a key part of Shiba's EES GT3 squad, helping them to win their class. Tidy, clean and consistent, Lorenzo comes back to FS1 even better than when he left. That completes the grid for Formula Sprint 1. This has been Eoin Harmon. Joining me in the commentary booth in 2025 will be Alex Hallows. We look forward to providing you with live coverage of the 16 event season.